Good evening. So great to have you here. I'm Laura Painter.
And I'm Chris Thomas. We do thank you for joining us tonight.
Tonight, more than 200 animals are being treated after a massive rescue in Nevada County that led to the arrest of a man in Grass Valley. Yeah, the Nevada County Sheriff's Office says 39-year-old Joshua Grayson is facing 8 felony counts of animal cruelty. It comes after an investigation on November 30th. ABC10's Roxanne Elias has the details.
The Nevada County Sheriff's Office says this is one of the largest animal seizures animal control has seen in its history. They also tell us the person who called in was in the neighborhood driving by when they saw what they thought were dead animals in the pasture.
This is probably one of the worst cases I've seen in the 21 years I've been here.
Lieutenant Justin Martin is describing what he calls an extreme case of animal cruelty found after a welfare check of a property on the 22,000 block of Meyer Ravine Road in Grass Valley. A person driving by called in, and a patrol sergeant with the Nevada County Sheriff's Office was sent to the scene on November 30th.
While he was at the bottom of the driveway, he could see what he believed was some deceased animals in the front pasture. So he went up into the property, started conducting a welfare check, saw several other animals in various forms of needing medical attention, emaciated, malnourished, things like that.
Animal Control responded with the Sheriff's Heart team of volunteers. And with a warrant, they began seizing animals that same day. The Sheriff's Office says 14 animals were found dead, and 215 living animals were rescued, with the bulk being sheep. But other animals included goats, horses, pigs, calves, chickens, and 1 donkey, cat, pony, and rabbit. Martin says the animals were infected with severe ORF, also known as sore mouth disease, which is highly contagious to both animals and humans.
The animals now that were infected are in quarantine at an undisclosed location. They are being monitored and cared for around the clock by our animal control staff and heart volunteers.
They're not disclosing their location for safety reasons, but he says none of the animals have gone or been at the Nevada County Fairgrounds.
We're also working with a lot of partners around our community. We've got great animal nonprofits and partners who are supporting us just with locations and giving us opportunities to house animals so that they are in a safe environment.
Joshua Evan Grayson was arrested on December 11th for 8 felony counts of animal cruelty. He's out on bail, and a court will now decide if he will be able to keep any of the animals.
Had it not been for this person reporting it, who knows how many animals would have perished under the conditions that they were living in.
In Nevada County, Roxanne Elias, ABC10.
And just in, we have new images as the search continues for that suspect accused of killing 2 students and injuring 9 others at Brown University over the weekend. Investigators showed these images at a news conference just hours ago. They were taken several hours before the shooting on Saturday. The FBI described the suspect as approximately 5'8" with a stocky build. Officials arrested 1 person of interest over the weekend, but released him after he was effectively cleared. The FBI is now offering a $50,000 reward for any information leading to an arrest. Classes and exams for the rest of the semester have been canceled.
Federal prosecutors say they stopped a major bomb attack that was scheduled to happen on New Year's Eve in Southern California. 4 people have been arrested, and they each have ties to what investigators call an extremist anti-government group. ABC's Christiane Cordero has the latest update from Washington.
Today, federal prosecutors announced 4 people are now in custody. Investigators say they were plotting major coordinated bomb attacks across Southern California.
These bombs were to blow up at the same time on midnight this New Year's Eve. The plan stated that the IEDs would be complex pipe bombs.
The criminal complaint shows the materials the group allegedly used to make improvised explosive devices in what prosecutors describe as a disrupted terror plot. According to the complaint, the group was testing explosives in the Mojave Desert on Friday to eventually hide in backpacks and place near at least 5 businesses across Southern California on New Year's Eve. Video surveillance released by investigators shows the suspects overhead soon before they were arrested.
It strikes me this is another undercover operation potentially. In other words, there was at least an agent or an informant in with this group, because how would you know to run aerial surveillance unless you had somebody on the ground telling you that was about to occur.
Officials say they also found various anti-government posters in the home of one suspect, Audrey Carroll. Prosecutors allege she and the other suspects were part of a radical faction of the group Turtle Island Liberation Front, recruiting others to be part of future attacks.
Which included plans to target ICE agents and vehicles with pipe bombs. Carroll stated that those plans would, quote, take some of them out and scare the rest.
Prosecutors announced one charge filed against each of the defendants today, with additional charges expected. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Christiane, thank you. Australians are mourning the lives of 15 people killed over the weekend in a shooting and a Hanukkah celebration. Australian officials are now considering stricter gun laws. A memorial has grown at the site of the shooting. It happened at Sydney's Bondi Beach Saturday. Australian officials have declared the shooting a terrorist incident, deliberately targeting Sydney's Jewish community. 25 people remain at the hospital, including one police officer. New South Wales police say the attackers were a father and son. The father, who died at the scene, had 6 guns registered to him. In response to the shooting, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says he would propose new restrictions, including limiting the number of guns a licensed owner can obtain.
Coming up, Sac State has a new head football coach, and he's no stranger to Northern California.
Plus, Proposition 50 passed with overwhelming support, but the future of the redrawn maps is uncertain. What to expect from the legal battle.
Finally starting to see that shift in our weather pattern with rain moving in through Northern California. How soon we get rid of the low clouds and fog.
Welcome back, everyone. Listen to this. Sac State has a new head football coach. Alonzo Carter is now the new coach. You see him there. The Northern California native most recently served as the assistant head coach at the University of Arizona and also spent several seasons as assistant coach at San Jose State. He has experience as a head coach at the high school and junior college level as well. As a head coach at Contra Costa Junior College, Carter led the team to 4 conference titles and 2 bowl victories. Now, Carter says every stop in my career has prepared me for this moment. Sacramento State deserves a program built on discipline, effort, and pride. We are here to raise the standard and represent this university the right way. Now, this all comes after former head coach Brennan Marion left after just 1 year. We do expect to meet Coach Carter later this week.
In last month's special election, California voters overwhelmingly passed Proposition 50, the ballot measure to temporarily redraw state congressional lines. But the future of those new maps is in limbo as a legal battle plays out. ABC10 State Matters political reporter Jenny Huh has the story tonight.
Monday, the first day of what's expected to be a 3-day hearing on the future of Proposition 50. That's California's temporary redrawing of its congressional maps to give Democrats a 5-seat advantage in next year's midterms, to counter Texas's mid-decade redistricting to give Republicans 5 more seats.
California reacted to the politics of Texas.
Not even a day after Newsom's victory speech, the California Republican Party, including Assemblymember David Tanguipa of Fresno, filed the suit.
Race was used as a justification for how they drew these lines.
Tanguipa is asking the 3-judge panel to do away with these maps by Friday, December 19th, the first major date in the candidate filing period for 2026.
California did not have a justification to use race to draw more Latino majority districts.
The lawsuit alleges the redrawn maps unconstitutionally use race to advance political interests, favoring Hispanic and Latino voters in gerrymandering. Republicans say that violates the Voting Rights Act, which bans racial discrimination in voting. But despite similar concerns over race in Texas's maps, that they were suppressing minority votes, the Supreme Court upheld their redistricting.
So if they determined that the Texas maps were drawn for political purposes and that's acceptable, then there's no reason that they shouldn't make the exact same finding for California's maps.
In Texas, it was purely political. In California, they blended them. They blended race and politics.
Newsom addressed the lawsuit in an unrelated press conference.
I'm just confident we're going to win on the merits.
Depending on the court case, the special election could be null.
Voters overwhelmingly approved Prop 50, as opposed to other states, including Texas, where it was strictly a move by the legislature and governor.
There are also talks on whether the map drawer, Paul Mitchell, will be testifying. He tells us he hasn't yet agreed to testify, but he has given a 7-hour deposition.
Next at 5:30, a legendary director and his wife killed inside their home. Now their son is under arrest in connection to the case.
Plus, the California State Fair making changes meant to help more people stay cool. The details after the break.
Well, Hollywood is devastated after the deaths of director Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle. As friends and family honor the celebrated couple, one of their sons is now accused in their murder. ABC10 contributor Patrick Cornell has the latest on this developing story.
Legendary Hollywood director Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle found dead Sunday in their Los Angeles home. Monday, one of their sons, Nick Reiner, taken into custody in the investigation into their deaths.
He was subsequently booked for murder and is being held on $4 million bail.
A spokesperson for the Reiner family saying in a statement, "We are heartbroken by this sudden loss, and we ask for privacy during this unbelievably difficult time." The news stunning the Hollywood community.
It's a seismic shock because Rob Reiner is such an outsized presence in the entertainment community. I mean, he's almost the mayor of Hollywood. He's such an affable, genial person.
Rob Reiner is considered one of the best American filmmakers of all time. His directing credits included classics from several genres, including The Princess Bride, Stand By Me, A Few Good Men, and When Harry Met Sally. It was on that film set that he met and fell in love with his wife, Michelle. Before turning to directing, Reiner was an actor, best known for his role as Archie Bunker's son-in-law on the TV show All in the Family.
He really was able to bounce around from genre to genre and yet make something that was unique and distinctive and utterly memorable.
Something longtime friends and collaborators echo.
He was, as they say in Hollywood, a mensch, a trustworthy and friendly and stable and reliable person that it was fun to be with.
I'm Patrick Cornell reporting.
Patrick, thank you. We know he touched so many lives. He will be greatly missed. Even Governor Gavin Newsom today getting emotional, calling Rob Reiner a friend and a man of courage and conviction. Just goes to say the legacy he's leaving behind.
I have to say, it's just one of those stories, too, that the more we learn, the more disturbing it got. I remember yesterday when the news first came in, we heard of bodies found inside the home. Hours later, we learned it was indeed the couple. And then today, to find out that it was their son who had been arrested in connection to that case. What we found out was that he'd had issues with homelessness as well as mental illness. And we know that there are so many families who deal with that, right? Mental illness and things of that nature. And so our thoughts are definitely with that family as they work through this difficult time.
Yes, and stay with ABC10 for updates on that developing story. Let's turn now to your weather as we take a look at the fog and haze sitting low over Sacramento earlier today. Can you even see the city through all of this haze? It's hard to make out. I see those little geese there, but they're cold. Remember to keep bundling up before you leave the house. Don't forget those extra layers. This is, in fact, the 12th day in a row with temperatures in the 40s. And due to these frosty conditions, Sacramento County is keeping its Weather Respite Center open until Thursday. People in need can go to the Warren E. Thornton Youth Center. The address is there on your screen. The site is for adults 18 and older. They will provide food, sleeping cots, restrooms, and charging spots for your electronics. Pets are also allowed, but they must be in crates. Call 211 before traveling to the center to ensure there is space. And the need is really great, Monica. I mean, just to reiterate this again, how cold it's been out there.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've been kind of topsy-turvy. It was colder in the valley than it was up the hill, right, Monica?
Yeah, definitely topsy-turvy.
You know, they have this beautiful display up in Nevada City, and I kept seeing people saying, I know that you guys are shivering in the valley, but it's beautiful up in Nevada City with sunny skies. So yes. I know a lot of people were saying, get me out of here. Let me just go up the road a piece to see some sunshine. So some showers coming on Tuesday. That's what we're tracking first and foremost. This really starts a more disruptive pattern for us. Little valley accumulation in terms of rain, but what it starts to do is give us a break in the low cloudiness and the fog with widespread rain developing on Wednesday. Then Christmas week, third, what we're tracking, rain and snow chances start to increase. So highs for today, once again, in the 40s up and down the valley, 50s and 60s in the foothills. We'll looking at highs that were a wide range throughout the Tahoe Basin. 47 for South Lake Tahoe. They actually saw quite a bit of low cloudiness and fog early on in the day, and that gave us unfortunately, not a whole lot of sunshine for the afternoon, whereas Truckee, 61 with sunny skies, 51 for San Francisco. They've been seeing a lot more sunshine than we have locally. So here's a look at the roundup of December. Lots of cold days in there, well below average, 14 days and counting here. 44 degrees last Friday was the coldest that we have seen this year. So we just continue to rack up the days of the cold stretch. The record 23, we're not going to get to that. We're going to start to break this pattern come tomorrow. When we see the clouds and rain, we're actually going to bring those temperatures up into the 50s, almost 60 by the time we get to the middle of the week. So here's where we are right now. Cloudy skies remain, temperatures in the 40s. Tahoe, clear skies, 37 degrees our temperature right now. It's quite cold in this year, cold enough to make the snow, but we need a lot more help from Mother Nature. We're going to get there. It's going to take some time, but we'll get there. Temperatures for tonight holding in the 40s. Tomorrow we see a mix of mainly cloudy skies and a little bit of lifting from the low cloudiness. Our producer Lori, who's in the booth right now, I love the way she described it. It feels suffocating, right? It just feels like we know something's up there, the blue skies, we just can't actually see it, but we're about to get there. Band of rain coming through extreme northern California. This starts to sink its way south. By the time it reaches us, kind of fizzles out. So we're not going to see a whole lot of accumulation, only about 1/4 of an inch to 1/10 of an inch in the valley, closer to about 1/2 inch to an inch, especially north of I-80 through parts of the foothills. That high pressure ridge is pretty stubborn, but by the time we get to Wednesday, this is when we really start to see some of the bigger changes unfold, kind of opening up that storm door. That gives us a better chance of seeing the rain showers by Friday through the weekend and even through Christmas week. Highs for tomorrow in the 50s for the Sierra, 50s and 60s down low throughout the foothills, 50s along the coast, but we're now starting to see those 50s become much more uniform. Instead of kind of bordering the valley, we now start to see that fill in for our local region with a mix of clouds out there. As far as our extended forecast, we see on and off rain showers for the mountains, the foothills, and the coast. I know there's not a whole lot of snow yet for the Sierra, but it's coming. It just is going to take a little bit of time to actually get there. As we extend our forecast through the valley, you can see there's a whole lot more 50s in there, but a whole lot more rain too.
And just as people get ready for holiday travel too, Monica.
I know.
Well, the good thing is people can't say they didn't have a chance to get out and do that shopping that they need to get done this year, right?
That's true. We had plenty of opportunity in the dry weather.
Yeah, lots to track, lots of changes.
Yep.
Monica, thank you. And speaking of changes, they are coming to the state fair. Officials have voted to have it a little later in the year. Come 2027, it'll be held toward the end of summer from September 17th through October 3rd. According to the fair, the change is designed to improve the guest experience, reduce the impact of extreme summer temperatures, and support better overall operating conditions for vendors, partners, and stakeholders. The upcoming 2026 California State Fair will still be held from July 17th through August 2nd. Stay with us. Coming up, new tonight on the news at 6. Marijuana for free. What happened after someone called in finding dozens of jars out in the open near a school? That story and more coming up at 6.
But before we go, so no one has taken home the Powerball jackpot yet, but guess what? Plenty of winning tickets have been sold, including in Sacramento. Lacini's Liquor and Deli sold a ticket worth $2 million after Saturday night. But this is not the first time the store sold a winning ticket. As a matter of fact, Lacini's is known in the community for their streak of luck. The store manager says it's all thanks to customers.
We have a lot of beautiful and wonderful people coming in here, and I think that that positivity really attracts other positivity, and part of that positivity is just this continuous winning streak that we're on.
Yeah, the jackpot is worth $1 billion. As a matter of fact, $1.1 billion. Don't leave any money out, right? The cash payout is worth about $500 million. The odds may be low, but you can still buy a ticket before that next drawing, which is tonight, okay? So here's the deal. You know, I was doing a little research. They were saying by the time you take taxes and everything, it's really down to $200 million.
Oh, that all? You're complaining about that?
I think I could work with
Clearly, we
it.
did not win because we are here at work today.
So
why are you
true.
complaining?
I know, right?
Just joking. Thanks so much for joining us. Watch us anytime, any day on your schedule. See you.
I think it's like $260 million.